Welcome, beautiful souls, to another episode of Pain to Power, where we talk all things healing, growth, and turning pain into power. Today, I would like to talk to you about changing your belief system. Something I would like for you to consider is that we all live in the world according to our beliefs. And most of the things we believe are not generated by our own conscious thinking. Instead, the majority of our thoughts arise from the impressions of outside sources. Have you ever noticed that you react to something in a way that feels almost automatic, as if it's wired deep into you? That's because in so many ways, it is. From the moment we're born until around the age of 7, our minds are like sponges. Psychologists often call this the imprint stage. During those years, our brains operate primarily in what's called the theta state, a very absorbent subconscious state where we're not analyzing, questioning, or filtering. We're just receiving. Think about a little child hearing these things over and over again. Money doesn't grow on trees. Boys don't cry. Don't be so sensitive. Good girls don't talk back. You have to work hard for everything. At that stage, we don't pause and say, I wonder if that's not actually true. No, we simply absorb it as fact. We internalize it, and then without realizing it, we carry those messages into adulthood, where they quietly but powerfully shape how we see the world. But the good news is that we are fully capable of reshaping our beliefs and changing the trajectory of our lives. One belief that stuck with me for many years was the idea that expressing my needs was somehow selfish. That if I asked for help, it meant that I was weak. These beliefs caused me to be overly independent and feeling like I needed to control the outcome of all circumstances. It wasn't until much later that I realized two things. First, these beliefs were not true, and second, I hadn't created them. It was impressed upon me by my childhood circumstances and the beliefs of those that surrounded me. And it was holding me back from authentic connection. Most of us are still living through borrowed beliefs that were impressed upon us before we even had the ability to decide whether or not they would help us or hinder our progress. Some of the most common ones that I've heard in my own life and from clients and friends are, I'm not good enough. Love has to be earned. Money is scarce. The world is unsafe. People can't be trusted. Sound familiar? The tricky part is beliefs don't just sit in our minds. They become the invisible script that we live by. They influence how we show up in relationships, how we approach our careers, how we treat our bodies, and even how much joy we allow ourselves to feel. For example, if you carry the belief that you're not good enough, you might constantly overwork or overgive or sabotage relationships because deep down you can't accept love without proving yourself. If you hold the belief that money is scarce, you might play small, never invest in yourself, or always feel anxious no matter how much you earn. It's not that the world is inherently unsafe or that love really has to be earned. You are worthy of love simply because you exist. It's that our beliefs shape our perception, and perception shapes reality. Now, here's the part that lights me up, and I hope it lights you up too. Beliefs are not set in stone. Yes, they feel ingrained. Yes, they make you feel it's just the way I am. But the truth is, beliefs are flexible. They can and should be questioned, challenged, and rewritten if they're not serving you. Both neuroscience and spirituality tell us the same thing. We are never stuck. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections, means that every time you think a new thought, you're literally rewiring your brain. In spirituality, it's the same principle. When you choose a new perspective, you shift your vibration and life starts to meet you in that new space. For much of my life, I believe I had to make everyone around me happy. My husband, my friends, my family. In serving that belief, I neglected my own needs, and without realizing it, I damaged my relationships. I covered my discontent with alcohol, anger, impatience, intolerance, and judgment, both towards myself and towards others. When you don't honor your own needs and constantly put others first, resentment quietly grows, even towards the people you love the most. But when I finally paused and began showing up for myself, something cracked open in me. I realized I could overcome past conditioning and let go of old pain. And when I did, love began showing up in my life in the most unexpected and beautiful ways. So, how do we actually do this? How do we start unraveling the beliefs we've been carrying around for decades? Here are some tools that have worked for me and for many others. Number one, journaling prompts. Grab a notebook and ask yourself, what's one belief I hold that feels heavy or limiting? Is this belief absolutely true? Where did it come from? Whose voice is it? What would be possible if I let this belief go? Number two, noticing patterns. Look at your relationships, your work, your daily self-talk. Where are you bumping into the same wall over and over again? Often, that wall is just a belief in disguise. Sometimes people think that they need to change their environment to see a change in their lives. But the truth is that no matter where you go, there you are. Until you work with the underlying self-doubts and destructive patterns, you will replay the same scenario over and over again, even in a new space. Number three, reframe it. Let's say you identify the belief, I can't trust anyone. Can you soften it into, I can choose wisely who to trust? That small shift starts to create new space. Remember, you don't have to believe every thought you think. Ask yourself, is it true that I can't trust anyone? Really? Anyone? There isn't one person in the whole world you can trust. I would venture that you have been hurt by many people, but somewhere in your life, there has been someone who's shown up for you. It takes courage to do this, especially when the belief is tied to a family or cultural conditioning. But remember, questioning a belief is not rejecting your family, it's choosing your own path. Once you've questioned a belief, the next step is to consciously choose a new one. This is where affirmations come in. But I don't mean the kind where you stand in front of the mirror and say something you don't believe at all. The key is to choose statements that feel believable and expansive. Instead of going from I'm unworthy to I'm perfect in every way, which might feel false, try I'm learning to see my worth. I'm open to receiving love. I'm building a new relationship with abundance. Pair these affirmations with visualization. Imagine yourself living from that new belief. What choices would you make? How would you carry yourself? What energy would you give off? And surround yourself with expanders, people who are already living the way you want to live. If you want to believe that healthy love is possible, spend time around people who are living in a healthy relationship. Their example will start to retrain your subconscious that it is possible for you too. It's often said that you are the sum of the 5 closest people you surround yourself with. Do you spend time with people who uplift you and support you, or are your closest friends giving off negativity? It may be time to explore some new connections. The most beautiful part of this whole process is that questioning your beliefs opens you up to wonder. When you loosen your grip on the rules you've been living by, life becomes an adventure. You start to notice synchronicities. You find yourself saying yes to opportunities you would have dismissed before. You discover parts of yourself you didn't know were there. If you're in a safe space, I invite you to close your eyes for a moment. If you're driving or walking, just listen along and let the words land. Take a deep breath in and out. Now bring to mind one belief that feels heavy. One belief you've carried that maybe, just maybe, isn't actually yours. Maybe it's something like, I'm not smart enough to succeed. Money is hard to come by and there's never enough. I have to earn love by proving myself. If I say no, people won't like me. Rest is lazy. I'll always have to be doing something. I'll never be able to change because this is who I am. Notice if one of these or more resonates with you, or if another one of your own rises to the surface. Say it silently to yourself. Notice how it feels in your body. Does it tighten in your chest? Does it create heaviness in your stomach? Just notice. Now ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Whose voice is it? Was it a parent, a teacher, a culture, a moment of pain? See if you can trace it to its roots. And gently ask, is this belief absolutely true? Can I know beyond all doubt that this is reality? And now, imagine setting that belief down like taking off a heavy backpack you've carried for years. Feel the relief in your shoulders. In that open space, imagine planting a new belief, like a seed, one that feels lighter, kinder, more expansive. Maybe it's, I am worthy of love, or abundance is possible for me, or I can choose to trust wisely. Take a breath and let that new belief fill your heart. Imagine yourself walking through life carrying this belief instead. Notice how your body feels. Notice how your energy shifts. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Beautiful souls, the world you live in is based on the beliefs you have held up to this point. Most of these beliefs were impressed upon you before you even had a choice. But the gift of being human is that we always have the opportunity to explore new ones. Take the time to water the seeds of these new beliefs each day by repeating them to yourself, affirming the new thought, and giving these affirmations the sunlight of your joy. I promise to you, it will grow and make a huge impact on your life and how you show up in the world. I'm challenging you here and now to explore what new beliefs you can adopt that will be more supportive of a happy and successful life. You are not bound by the past. You are not trapped by what someone else once told you. With an open mind, you can uncover the most amazing experiences, the most unexpected blessings, and the deepest healing. So this week, I invite you to notice just one belief that feels heavy and ask yourself if it's really yours. You might be surprised by what opens up. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Feel free to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Empowered by the Storm. Check out my resources at empoweredbythestorm.com. And until next time, remember, you have the power to question your beliefs, to rewrite your story, and to live from a place of love and possibility.